Actually do like this. Let's see. Yups. And we can get a. Of course, I could just take the camera in some sense if I'm not going to show anything on the. Let's see. Open camera. Should work. Let's see here. Turn around here. There we go. That's me. So, I was just thinking a little in regards again of, murder on children, on the weakest in society, and circumcision. Everything seems to go hand in hand in regards to these satanic opinions. It's rather, well, I don't know in regards to the word, but in regards to funny, well, it should be a better word, but usually people, at least, I've met a lot, usually it seems that a lot of the people that actually believe that abortion, which is murder on children, is actually a humanistic right, is the ones that is also equally against circumcision. And that seems to go hand in hand, And of course, we also have the what is it called, the LGTB whatever movement and all that, where you have yeah, well, but in any case, usually when you talk to people and they are for abortion, they're usually the same people that are against circumcision. Now, of course, one thing in regards to circumcision is commanded in the Bible in regards to the Jews, that they were to circumcise their children on the 8th day. And in regards of killing your own children, in regards of what they call abortion, because, Satan has a way of, just, changing the names and instead of just saying what it is, we just, for example, when people go out and have sex, we don't call it whoring, do we? No, but it is whoring. It's always been whoring, but now we just, use less of words. We don't see the issues with it anymore, because we believe in evolution, which is a satanic doctrine. About these millions years ago, and that we are coming from fish, and the fish becomes monkeys over time, because the fish went on land and then they become monkeys or apes or whatever you want to. And then we became humans, millions and billions of years, which of course is a satanic doctrine, which there's no truth in it. But it seems like a lot of it's just so demonic, it's just so satanic, it's just so wicked. And yet these people will stand and say, oh, it's the human right to murder, but in regards to circumcision, that's the worst of the worst. You hear the most sharp arguments against circumcision, but in regards of abortion or murder on children, that's a human right. Well, what is worst? Let's just keep it. One action kills the child. The other removes, some skin from the front of the what shall we say, male genital. One kills the child totally off. The other is just some skin that is removed. And it's, again, if you go to the Bible, the Jews are commanded to do this on the 8th day. Yet, the Bible says we should not commit murder, which is one of the 10 commandments. Yet they are for murder, but against what God has commanded, the Jews to do, for example. And, listening that that, for example, in Denmark, that you can find people that will say that they want to have it like a law that you are not allowed to circumcise your child. Well, that will just make criminals of all the Jews in this country. And of course the Mohammedans as well, because I think they also do it. But, the Jews are, in regard to the Bible, are those that are commanded to do this. So that would make criminals of all the Jews in the land. And of course then, so what should the Jews do? Well, they could either do what God had told them, or and be criminalized in this country, or they would have to go to Israel. It just seems to go hand in hand. And one of my other acquaintances that actually has been into this and has have had his child killed is actually is for abortions. And I just don't understand it, because as I understand it, he actually would have liked to have that child, yet she took an abortion. She pretty much, as I understand it, took the choice, and then she got an abortion. But as I understand it, he would have liked to have that child, yet he accepts abortion. He thinks it should be a legal right to murder your child, yet he has his own experience. I don't understand how having your own child have been murdered off, and yet just go on and say, yeah, well, it has to be legalized, so other people can end up in his situation. It just doesn't make sense to me, And the arguments being used is, but again, of course, that's the same way you see that in regards of circumcision, being against circumcision, but being for murdering children. Again, goes hand in hand. You hear, if you look, you see all these people being so viciously against circumcision, but then it comes to murdering children, and then it is just a human right. It's insane. And then, of course, people will use the argument, well, if the woman has been, how is it called? Raped. Well, how many times did that actually happen? How many times of the times that women want abortion is it because of rape? And again, if you look on the Danish side in regards, I'm not sure if they actually, but you can still go back in the old what do you call it, old web page. That's this page where you can go back to older web pages. I'm not sure if they removed the information, but the feminist movement in Denmark, wrote it flat out that they wanted abortion to be legal because they wanted to be whores. They wanted to have free sex, and when you have free sex, sometimes you become pregnant. They wanted to be sluts. They wanted to be whores. They wanted to play the harlot, in some sense. They wanted to have, free sex before marriage. And if you become with child before marriage, that's not that good for a woman, is it? Because then men are less interested in them, because men wants their own children, right? It is like this insanity thing that women thinks that, or try to, why wouldn't you have, a child from another man? It's like, and of course some people actually do that can't have children, actually do want, but, think about it. Why would you as a man not want your own child? Of course you want your own child, you don't want to have a foreign man's child, because she played the whore and went with the alpha males, and she became pregnant, and then she's looking for a beta male, instead, that can provide her and all that. Just give me a break. Who wants to, it just doesn't, the child will say, oh, you're not my father, use the argument and all that, you can't decide this and that, you can't, so it makes a huge amount of mess. But anyway, the thing is, women should not play the whore. They should not go out and have sex before marriage. They should keep themselves until married. Anyway, so they wanted to have free sex in regards of the 90, what's it called? It was legalized in regards of murder in 1973, I think it was. That it actually became legal to murder your own child. It's just totally outrageous. And when we look at it, we have around 1 million people having been killed or murdered. It's a murder. Has been murdered since 1973. Now the bad arguments that in regards of, well, what if the woman has been raped? Well, how many times is that actually the case? And again, was that actually the argument in regards of getting free abortion or free murder in this country? No, it was because they wanted to play the whore, the harlot, the slut, that's other words for it. But anyway, you get the idea, I guess. And if they became pregnant, what do you then do? Well, you kill off the child because you wanted to have some fun. So, yeah, go out drinking, right? Going out having some fun, and then you go into bed with a stranger, but just because you want to, lust and all that. So they got free abortion. That's the feminist, the rebellion movement that hated men, that didn't want to be underneath the man, as the man was the head of the family. But, you think about it. Do you want to have like a hormonal woman control or lead the family? That is controlled by her hormonal state of, or do you want to have a man that is solid and just pretty straight, to lead the family? Which one do you want to, I would go by the man, and not a hormonal being like women, But of course they hate men, and that was pretty much the three things if you go into the feminist website talking about free sex. They wanted to have free murder, and they wanted to, the patriarchal, the patriarchal. They wanted to remove the patriarchal. I'm not sure if I'm. It's a hard word, patriarchal. I could probably find it in. Let's see if we can find it here. I see here. Patriarchy. Maybe that one probably is going to go. Patriarchal, and they still use these arguments and belittle men and let's see, the male head of the family or tribe, patriarch. Yeah, but it should be patriarchal. Let's see if we can find patriarchal or patriarchal. Maybe that's the one. Let's see.
Patriarchal.
Okay, there we go. A characteristic of a form of social organization in which the male is the family head, and title is traced through the male line. And this is also biblical, and of course, women hate the Bible as well, or these feminists, these rebellious feminists, man-hating feminists, that is, have stone hearts and murder in their hearts, they want to disrupt or corrupt the Bible and try to make, for example, man into a woman and all that. Instead of just taking, and you have your own, version of the Bible that's just totally, where they corrupted. And anyway, let's go back to the camera. Let's see here. But I just don't know, I just don't get it, it's just, I just, again, talk with two of my acquaintances that have these opinions. It just stirs me up somewhat, because we're talking about murder, and murder is not good. And it's like, setting good for bad or bad for good, making the good evil and evil good, turning things upside down. And of course, if you read the Bible and understand it from a biblical point of view, it's just demonic, it's just Oh yeah, by the way, do I actually have these? Oh yeah, I have them here. I was in regards of, one of these where we are walking in regards of against abortion. And in Denmark, it seemed like a lot of these people actually that was in regards of this, standing for life was actually, what is it called, ashamed of it. It seemed like they were ashamed of standing for life. And it's just sad, even if they stood for it. Some of them, it just seemed to me that, some of them was actually ashamed for standing for life. And the ones that should be ashamed are the murderers. And that's what happened to children, That's the feminists that pretty much broke all my balloons when I was talking to another, you couldn't really talk to them. It's really hard to talk to them. They were just vicious yelling, rebellious. And who as a man wants a woman like that? No one, I think. Anyway, maybe there's some out there that wants to have a rebellion feminist that don't want to be in the kitchen and all that. Well, it's not me, that's for sure. But anyway, this is what they do to our children. They murder them. Pretty much. It's a good parable in some sense. And the blue balloons represents the male children, and the pink is in regards of the what's it called, the male and the women, what's that called, boys and girls. There we go. It's hard to remember everything. Anyway, and of course it seems like we are making girls into boys and boys into men. It's just totally satanic, Why would we not promote the positive of the gender instead of weakening the strength of the genders? Of course, Satan is in it as always. But again, this is what they do to the children, and this is what they stand for. This is blood spilling, and this is like, I think it's 15,000 children a year in Denmark that dies, that is murdered by their mother. Isn't it incredible? The mother that should stand for life is murdering their children. And of course, again, it's just, we should start at the very beginning. Don't have sex before marriage. Find the man that you want to live with for the rest of your life and stick with him, and have children with him. And you can get all the free fun you want with your man, or the other way around in regards to the man with the woman. Now, these days, it seems we're promoting so much in regards of, it has to be, this in regards of sex, it's just a huge thing, It's just the whole, instead of actually in regards of the family, it's just looking on this, we need to, in regards of the sex and this and that, and and we have lewd stuff everywhere, and, the women dressing as whores. Of course, you can't say that to them, because then all the people goes against you, right? Oh, you can't say that she's dressed like a whore, but she is dressed like a whore. Many of the women are dressed like whores, and they do it to get, attention. So, and in regards of men, it's very easy to lead men astray in regards of his thoughts. So when women dress like whores, they are also, in regards, it's always the men that gets the fault for this. But the women dressing like whores, you can't say they haven't gotten anything in regards of, what is the right word? They are part of it, because they dress like a whore. And, a whore, if you're dressed like a whore and a man comes, it's really hard for a man to stay straight in regards of... But of course, we always blame the men, right? It's always the fault of the men. Always. It's always just blame the men. That's the thing. Always blame the men. And we can do without men and this and that. And just, that's tend to be the thing. It just goes on and on and on and on and on and on from women and just getting, It's getting tired, and I don't know how we could accept to murder our children, how we would ever accept these rebellion feminists, these man-hating whores, these women with filthy hands of blood dripping all over them, and their stones, or their hearts of stones. Why would we ever listen to them and have free abortion or free murder? It's insane. Why would anyone ever, that children just in Denmark, and promoting all these other things in regards to women becoming men, and then promoting men to become women? It's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And it's just total confusion we have out there. It's just total confusion. It's just, yeah. So, anyway, so talking to my two acquaintances in regards of these things again, I just, I just don't understand it. It's just how people can have these, of course, we're getting a lot of propaganda. Because of course in the past I was actually for abortion as well, because I had the idea that we're just animals and blah. You get programmed to, in this direction by society, but of course the world is in regards of Satan, right? Here the Satan deceives the whole wide world, and if we don't stand up in regards of the truth, the world would just run amok. Which already has, if you look back in regards of the worldwide flood, this is not a democracy. It's like people think if the most of the people believe something or accept something, then it's okay, because it's, what the most of the people thinks. Well, of course, that would work if people actually read the Bible and actually knew what righteousness was and all that. That will pretty much keep things in check, I would think. But when the world or when the country run amok and stop reading the Bible and don't know what is right from wrong, it just, God's kingdom is a kingdom. There are some things that are wrong just because most of the people might, I don't know how many in Denmark, but let's, just because most people, I would guess, in Denmark would actually be agreeable in regards of abortion, doesn't make it right in regards of murder. It doesn't make it right either or true either, just because most of the people in Denmark, I think it's 82%, believe in evolution. Evolution is a satanic pagan doctrine going far further back than Darwin himself. It's paganism. But, it's heathendom, and yet the people will, no, they believe these things. Yet they might proclaim, well, I don't believe in anything and all that. Well, you believe in pagan doctrines, It's just, and you have, you're going to believe something. If you are a believing atheist, well, you believe that God does not exist. You might say, well, I know he doesn't exist, but it's still a belief. It's just, so in regards of evolution is a pagan doctrine, and a lot of atheists believe in evolution. And of course, that also, when people just think they are animals, well, what is going to stop them for just going out and whoring to the left and the right? And we're pretty much teaching in schools, this and that, just go out and have fun, the sex education and all that. Instead of actually educating the children in regards of this is, you find a man, a good man or a good woman, and then, you go from there. So it's just, drinking is the culture as well, so-called. And, just because it's culture doesn't mean it's okay. That it's, if you go out to drink, you might get sick. You might get issues because you're drinking. And then, of course, you're committing a lot of sins because when you drink, it's harder to actually hold back. And then you just do things that you wouldn't normally do. And, it just takes one thing takes another and so forward. So this is another thing that is something that really is promoted in Denmark. And when you see the commercials, they just promote alcohol and alcohol, and of course we also have what is it called? Games. What is that called? All the things that why would we ever promote these things in the television? Why would we ever have such commercials in the television promoting alcohol? Why would we promote alcohol? It destroys the health, and so many people are destroyed because of alcohol, and yet it's allowed to promote alcohol in the television for all to see. And of course gambling, that's the gambling thing, in regards of in regards to sports and all that, it's promoted as well. A lot of wicked things are promoted on the television, and of course in the movies themselves, pagan ideas, desensitizing people in regards of sins, just making some fun out of it, and then it becomes more and more natural to do something. It's just, it's going downhill. Absolutely going downhill. And we're still lying to our children as well, those that we haven't murdered in regards of abortion, or other ways, but we lie to them. And, one of my acquaintances that I talked to, he was like, well, it's culture. It's part of our culture. And I was like, it's lies. No, it's culture. Yeah, but it's lies. It doesn't make, just because something has been, what shall we say, normalized or whatever in regards of this, this thing in regards of Satan Claus writing his thing, which was like 8 animals and all that, it's a lie. All these things are a lie, and godlike powers, he knows the good children from the bad children and all that. It's a lie. It's directly lying to our children. And if we want to, in regards of what is lying is if there's some in regards of course you can promote a lie, but there's, some distinguish in regards of, if you, for example, if you know something to be wrong and you tell it as truth, you are lying. But the question is, if you don't know, you're actually telling the, I'm still trying to figure out where the line goes in regards to this. But if you're telling your children, and most people that tells the children about Satan Claus, it knows it's not true. So that must be directly lying. And yet my acquaintance really had a hard time accepting that this is a lie. Now, of course, again, if you're telling something that you don't know to be true, if you're telling something that you think is truth, and you're not willingly, but again, I guess it's still lying, but you're not willingly doing it. So I'm not sure if there's another word for it or something like that. But, if someone tells a lie and you then go and promote this lie, are you not telling a lie then, even if you don't know it's a lie? But of course, it's much worse than actually, if you actually know something to be a lie and then you tell it and promote it, right? And it's like in Denmark, we have this whole game, apparently, that, and of course, a lot of the Western world have this game of telling children about Satan Claus and all these Easter rabbits and Halloween and all these pagan things, which have nothing in regards of truth in them, and yet rejecting what the Bible says in regards of Jehovah's traditions, or, well, maybe not traditions, but his festivals, his appointed times that he said we should keep. Yet we are still promoting these satanic pagan things for children and teaching them about gnomes and so forward, which is, it's just false gods, house gods as they were in the past and all that. But I guess Christ Mass in regards of the Satan Claus is pretty much one of the worst things that we teach our children. It's just, this world is so wicked. It's just so wicked, and people are just, we're just continuing these wicked things, and listening to these feminists screaming and, I had a hard time actually listening to what they actually were screaming about. That's one of the words I didn't even know what was, what meant, at least one word. But this is pretty much what they do to our children. I don't understand. One of them I actually talked to, and again, I didn't really, it's really hard to get through to actually talking to them. But one of them I actually talked to, and she wanted to have free abortion, and she was talking about that. She thought that her mother should have the choice of, in regards of having aborted her or not. And I'm like, don't you want to live? Don't you think that your life is valuable just because there was something wrong with her in regards of, I'm not entirely sure, but she was still, but it's like, don't you want to live? Don't you want to have life? It's just insane, we use so many resources to go to war, to murder and kill people, and many times it's in regards of, in the idea that it's defending the country or whatever, or promoting democracy and blah, 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 and just going out and killing millions and millions of people, which Denmark has also been, is partaking in. And then people are surprised in regards of when things begins to happen in Denmark and other people in the West in regards of, well, if we go to war, then wouldn't you expect a reaction from that? Anyway, they blew up the balloons in regards of, I think, 15,000 children and all that, and this was my balloons. But I saw a lot of the people actually that actually went, with this what do you call it, demonstration or something like that, or to show that there at least was some that stood against. But it seems like that's again that some of the people are ashamed of it, and then they began to bang their own balloons. It was very sad. Maybe being, what do you call it, ashamed of going with the balloons in public. Anyway, I didn't have to, I had my balloons, but they were destroyed by these people, so, yeah. Anyway, by these rebellious, outrageous women that have just been led astray by Satan, and, the emotional state is just, it's just outrageous. Is that what a man wants? Does he want a rebellion feminist? No, absolutely not. Who wants a rebellious feminist, as his wife? That's just horrible. Think about it. You're going to live with her the rest of your life. This hormonal creature that don't even want to do anything in regards of women stuff, She wants to try to take your place. She wants to take you down. She doesn't want you to lead. She's pretty much, yeah. So, it's just insane. Anyway, but you can go in regards to the website, in regards of the feminist and all that. I have a link. But, you can just check the website for yourself. They have made, again, a new website and all that. I'm not sure if the same information is there. Maybe they found out it was too heavy or something like that. But it was nice to see they were pretty honest about it. But, when I read it, it's like, well, and I was actually into this place, dating place where you maybe could find a woman or something like that. And I was just making some videos and reading from the website, and it just made a huge... I pretty much got censored in the end. I got deleted and I got kicked out of the group and all that. I was just reading from the webpage. And the women, they just got total nutcase, The demons in them just, came out. And so I got my videos deleted and I got kicked out from the group. And, it's not the first time, that's the last time that... but just talking about in regards to these things, a little here and a little there. And it's it's apparently very hard for a person apparently just to jump to something else, if they don't agree with it or whatever, just jump to something else. No, you need to have the person banned and censored and the channel closed down or whatever. You see a lot of censorship on the internet. You might not actually, if you're not in the, if you're just in the box in some sense, you might not be censored, But if you are outside the box, you will get censored on so many levels. Just saw something in regards of internet jihad, where the Mohammedans, the people speaking against Mohammedanism and pretty much lightening the darkness in some sense, telling people about Mohammedanism, having done research on it and all that, they are attacked by Mohammedan jihadist. And what they do is, usually there's a button where you can say this is material is inappropriate or something like that, and they misuse this. So they just, gang up on a channel or a thing someone wrote or something like that, and then they get the channel closed down or the message closed down or the chat and all that closed down and all that. It happens all the time on the internet that you're getting censored. Of course, not only the Mohammedans, it's from other places as well in regards of, this is just, if women don't like what, those, they will just report you, and they get a lot of, they report you because they don't like your view, and because they don't like your view, they, reporting you, and then, you get closed down and banned and censored and all that. It's very, 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 your father was like free speech, right? Nope. It's only, as long as you stay in the box, it's okay. But if you go outside the box, oh my. No. Then all hell breaks loose. Pretty much. It's sad. But if we can't even talk about the things, if people are just screaming and getting you censored and, how are you going to ever talk about the things? And that's so some of the platforms on the internet pretty much is, I'm still censored on Facebook, for example. I just put some images this time of some bucklers, and that was in regards to Nazism. I'm trying to, find the things in regards of Nazism going back to Rome and all that. And they had this buckler belt. I actually found three pictures of three different buckler belts, which had the same thing in regards of this German thing where it says "God with us" or something like that. God uns, I can't remember. But anyway, and two pictures where, Hitler is in regards of a bishop or something like that, and got censored. I got 3 days quarantine, or what is it called, quarantine from Facebook, because this breaks their rules apparently. Anyway, so I've had a multitude of posts pretty much censored over time. I've been banned from multiple channels on places and groups and so forward. It's just so it's absolute. Free speech is is apparently only free speech if you can, if people don't get offended. Well, the whole idea with the whole idea with free speech is that you're allowed to speak whatever, and if people get offended, well, they can speak against it, but not to say that. Anyway, and if we can't talk about the things, then that is just very sad. It's just going to go downhill from there. If we can't talk against Mohammedanism, for example, or Roman Catholicism, or whatever is false in the world, we will lose, so much. That's the whole idea of the Reformation, the Reformation, which actually failed, which became a protest, they were pretty, they were speaking a lot, and they were speaking against the lies and the deceptions and so forward. And, yeah. So, yeah, we shouldn't probably go too much off topic. Let's see if we can find this. Of course, this is a Danish website. I guess they also have in English in regards of the feminist web page. I guess in English, they should, I guess, write some of the same things. Let's see if we have like feminist website for abortion. Abortion. Maybe we should just abortion. Free sex, of course, because that was what they wanted. And patriarchal. I think I'm going patriarch. It's not. Hopefully, Google can help me here. Patriarchal. Great. Let's see here. Oh yeah, breaking free from patriarchy. A comparative study of sex selection, abortions in Korea and the United States. Here we have in regards to abortion. Do we have this woman webpage in regards of English? I know in Denmark it's like rødstrømperne, I think, in Danish, like red socks, I guess, red socks in English. I guess in regards of red socks fits them. Some of these feminists that was also in the group against yelling and all that. They had they were in red. That fits pretty much in regards of blood. They have blood all over them. So, of course, in regards of this rebellion, usually also go hand in hand with other things in regards of Satan rejecting the God of the Bible, so also being haters of God in the Bible. So let's see. So everything seems to go hand in hand when you leave God, and then you are in the claws of Satan and end up in all these wicked things. Let's see. Don't we have like a website in regards of this? Feminism and abortion. I want to have like the direct feminist webpage. Feminist. They must have a website in English as well. Maybe they are called red socks as well in English. I don't know. Let's try. Not sure why. Again, red socks in Danish. I'm not sure why they. Again, red would fit them for sure in regards of all the blood that they have shed. Radical feminism, feminist radicalism, abortion as a sex equality right. Oh yeah, that fits, I guess, in regards of equality. Equality for what? As a woman, you want to become a man. Is that what you think is equality? You are a woman. You should do women things. Women stuff. Have children. Be the supporter of the family. The nourishing thing of the family. But no. You want to be a man. It just doesn't work. You're bleeding every month. It's not like a man. You have different hormones. I was like, what's it called? These hormones, You have different hormones in you, You're not going to become a man, just, Anyway, spaces in feminist theory. Let's see. Women's liberation movement. Let's see what... This is not a direct... red stockings. Let's see here. A term used to disparage feminist intellectuals of earlier centuries. Apparently, let's see what they have to say. Red stockings, I guess that's in regards to the Danish thing. Also known as red stockings of the Women Liberation Movement, is a radical feminist group that was founded in January 1969 in New York City. Apparently, it just then comes to Denmark. Apparently, as well. It seems. I'm after that time and all that. I have no idea why no one stood up against it. Having seen how much murder has been done in Denmark since 1973, where murder was legalized on the weakest in the country. And then, of course, you have these arguments when there was a lot of things going on in Denmark, and it was a lot of work and so forward. And then we got people from the outside into the country, and people were making the excuse that we needed the hands of outsiders and all that. Well, if we hadn't killed off all the children, we would have those that could have worked. It's just so we are killing off our own children and then getting workforce from the outside. It just makes no sense. So let's see, Red Stockings, also known as Red Stockings of the Woman Liberation Movement, is a radical feminist group that was founded in 1969 in New York City. The word is portmanteau of blue stocking, a term used to disparage feminist intellectuals of earlier centuries. Oh, dismissed. Actually, in regards to the blue, blue would also in regards to be of the Bible in some sense, in regards of the color of blue being used. So a term used to disparage, it's like disparage feminist, let's see here. So that was apparently some blue thing apparently going on, let's see. Express a negative opinion. So those that went in blue, but I would already be in blue because, in regards of, I'm still trying to get some more t-shirts, but in regards of the blue thing and all that, but, it says in the Bible that, you should have blue. As I understand, it's like a blue stripe, but the Jews does it a little different, so I might do it wrong. But anyway, I have the t-shirt where you have a blue stripe already, because that's the color it says in the Bible. So, it would have a double thing in regards of actually going back to the Bible, I guess, having the blue color. Anyway, a term used to disparage feminist intellectuals of earlier centuries, and red for its association with the revolutionary left. And I guess in regards of revolutionary left is also going away from the Bible, right? I would think something like that. So let's see here. The group was started by Ellen Velis and Shulamit Firestone in February 1969. After the break, if you look on the women in the 1950s or 1960s, or maybe it's 1950s as it's closer, some of the dresses they went in and all that, and that they had focus on the home and the family and the kitchen and the things, and just wonderful, But, the feminists had to destroy that. Think about it. The women got a lot of things that made it easier for them in the home. And apparently it became too easy for them or something like that they wanted to go out and be men, apparently. And do all the stupid things of drinking and smoking and so forward as well. And the women are the ones that have the children in them 9 months, It's very stupid then to destroy the body and with these. Anyway, the group was started by Ellen Velis and Shulamit Firestone in February 1969. After the breakup of New York radical women, other early members included Kathy Sarachild, Patricia Maniati, blah blah blah. Let's see, what do we have? What do they stand for? Something like that. Here we have, which further in, the committee chairman countered that these were the experts on the let's see, maybe you should go a little back here. One of the group's earliest actions was on February 13, 1969, when members stormed a hearing of the New York State Joint Legislation Committee on Public Health, which was considering abortion law reform. So they always consider, let's try that again. When members stormed the hearing of the New York State Joint Legislation Committee in Public Health, which was considering abortion law reform. They objected to the hearing, asking, why are 14 men and only 1 woman on the list of speakers, and she's a nun? The committee chairman countered that these were the experts on the subject, which further enraged the Red Stockings woman. These rebellious satanic feminists wants blood. That's what they want, you know. So there was 14 men and only 1 woman on your list of speakers. Oh, how terrible. Oh, it's just... So, which further enraged the Red Stockings women. These women should just go back to their home, if they have one at least, you know, or find a good husband and get back to the kitchen and stop playing, just stop promoting, this wickedness. This is filthy. You know, women should stand for life, and yet they stand for these women. A lot of the women in Denmark are considering themselves feminists in our days. Feminism is equal to Satanism. It's just rebellion. It's murderous. It's filthy. It's I have no idea how anyone could stand for this. Because it's just so bloody. There's a river of blood flowing, from this movement. Killing their own children and others, which further enraged the Red Stockings woman, whose position was that there were no better experts on abortion than women. Oh, really? You want to have women that are actually emotional, filled with, what is it called, estrogen, what is it called, I can't remember. There's these 2 different hormones, and women have a lot of these other hormones, and you want to have those, in charge? Absolutely not. And that abortion law needed to be repealed rather than reformed. I'm not sure. Okay, repealed. Are they actually saying they're going against this? Am I reading this wrong? Let's see what repealed. Let's see what this is. Repealed, cancelled, official. He repealed the ban on smoking. So what are they talking? Is it? I'll have to find out what is because. Let's see here. Because the Red Stockings, it should be 4, but I'm not sure what they wanted in regards of what reform they wanted to do. Maybe it was a negative reformed, and they might have been. Let's read further and see what. Maybe I lost. Did I lost the New York State Joint Legislation Committee on Public Health, which was considering abortion law reform. Again, what kind of abortion law reform were they considering? It doesn't really say. Would have thought it would be something negative, because the those feminists usually are for abortion. So anyway, they were objected to the hearing, asking why. They were actually see if we can see what they actually what this was about. About a month later, Red Stockings soon held its own hearing, an open meeting in the Washington Square Methodist Church, where 12 women testified about their experience with illegal abortion. Yeah, so they don't want, in regards of people will use the argument, well, if we stop legalizing abortion, there will be a legal abortion, and then then it will be a lot worse. No, it will not be worse, but because then it shows that we don't accept murder. And if someone goes in regards of an illegal abortion, it is illegal in the first place. So if these people have a bad experience in regards of illegal abortion, well, you shouldn't have done it in the first place anyway, because it's murder. So anyway, let's see what it says. The March Speak Out was Red Stockings' opportunity to hear testimony of those that they felt were the experts. Okay. We are the true experts, the only experts, we who have had abortions. Oh, so you that went to illegal abortions are the experts? Is this how we are going to... I have no idea why they were having this meeting in a in a Methodist church, a church should stand for life, not for death. So I have no idea why they would actually keep it in a church. So they say, we are the true experts, the only experts, we who have had abortions, one of the 12 said. Okay, so there was 12 women testified about their experience with illegal abortion. Well, if you have an illegal abortion, illegal, it's murder. You committed murder, and yet these 12 women that's one of the 12 said, these are one of the, in regards of, experience with illegal abortion. One of the women in attendance with Gloria Steinem, who would years later identify the meeting as a milestone in her feminist activism. Again, it's still a little hard to, but they have experience in regards of illegal abortion. Don't do illegal abortion, It's murder. At least it shows the people that this is bad if it's not legal. So if someone does an illegal abortion, it's going against, And and that's the thing in regards to human rights, right? They want to, they want to say it's a human right to murder a child. How can it be a human right to murder a child? Does the child not have human rights? Apparently not. If you're in the mother wombs, you apparently don't have any rights. Apparently, it's very wicked. Let's see here. In the early 1970s, I'm feeling I'm lacking some information here. But it's anyway, because I don't really know what was actually going on in 1969 in regards of the legislation. Are they actually going against it, or it seems like they might not have been going the direction as the feminists wanted? And of course, they want to have free abortion. They wanted to have free murder. They wanted to have it legalized. And again, it doesn't, in regards of illegal abortion, it doesn't work. You can't use illegal abortion, which, at that time it must have been illegal to abort or murder your child. It's still murder. It's still murder. You can't use so-called illegal, you can't use murder to people committing murder and then say you need to make it legal because it's just insane. It's just insane, If you're going out and murdering someone and it's still murder, and then you use that murder because it was not legal and it was a little hard to do or whatever, and then use it to legalize murder. It just I might not be I probably need to write things down to just things so get things not on the fly here, but it's just insane. I think it's totally insane. In the early 1970s, Red Stockings were noted for their speak outs and sap action and street theater on the issue of abortion rights. These styles of protest was emulated by an early 1980s pro-choice group, No More Nice Girls, one of the founders of which was Red Stockings veteran Ellen Willis. No more nice girls. No, they were not nice girls. They were demonic, murder in their hearts, totally gone crazy, if you kill your own child, it's just outrageous, if you have the sense that it's okay to kill your own child, something is terrible wrong with your, something is terrible wrong. Anyway, on March the 3rd, 1989, that's a lot longer, that's Red Stockings met again at the Washington Square Methodist Church to commemorate the 20th anniversary of their 1969 meeting at the speak out called Abortion, Women Tell It Like It Is, Was and Ought to Be, 1969, 1989. No, women are just gone astray into wickedness. But again, I still need some more. I think would be nice with, it just doesn't seem like it's saying directly what they are actually standing for. So would be nice to actually go directly to their website in regards of their views. More recently, but I guess they would have the same views as the Danish group if there is the same group that is talked about. More recently, the group leads a project to make available through the Women's Liberation Archives for Action radical feminist papers and original source organizing material building on their concept. History for activist use. The project also puts out new theory on women's oppression and what to do about it. In 2001, they released a book called Confronting the Myth of America, Women's Liberation and National Health Care. As 2006, the group is active and operates a website. Where's the website? Though Sarah Child is the only original member still active with the group. Where's the website of this? I see Women's Liberation and National as... Okay, maybe we can actually just, see if we can find the website maybe of this. See what they write on their webpage, Let's go. But again, in regards of the Wikipedia, I think there's lacking some information in regards of what were they actually talking about in regards of this place. And of course, one could look it up in regards of storming a hearing of the New York State Joint Legislation Committee on Public Health, which was considering abortion law reform. I guess they were maybe considering, because it was illegal at that point, so they were maybe considering in regards of legalizing it or something like that. And then the women objected that there was 14 men on the committee and 1 woman on the list, and she was a nun, Maybe that was the issue, actually. Maybe that's the issue thing, that these people would, of course, say no. This is not okay. This is murder, Maybe some of them were actually Christians and still had some value of what is righteousness and what is unrighteousness. Okay, and you see here. It's just deeply satanic. I don't know how women being Christians can be feminist at the same time. It seems to be, opposites. So what do we? There we also have. We're strongly opposed to lesbian separatism. I don't know. No, I'm not sure what that is. Is it in regards of separating them or something like that? Feminist separatism is the theory that feminists are... there we go. Redirected. I was redirected to another page. Let's go see if we can go back to the... That was annoying. Why? Okay, let's try again. Push there. Feminist separation is the theory that feminists... Why am I redirected? Why? Don't redirect me. Stay with... I want to... things when they do it automatically. I hate that. Let's see if we can try again. Am I pushing something, or is it just... No, it's just redirected from... Why would you do that? I just hate that, they're just automatically... it's just okay. Feminist separation is the theory that feminist opposition... It's the theory that feminist opposition to patriarchy can be achieved through women's separation from men. Because much of the theorizing is based on lesbian feminist, all these. Overall, it's just, we don't need to get into all these problems because, it was going pretty good, and the women just made a mess out of things. It's all blah blah blah, but of course things can change. It's not really. Let's see if we can find the web page of the other thing here. liberation. Let's see if we can find where they write. And I could, the Danish website is a little hard when you're speaking English, right? Because you won't be able to. Womensliberation.org might actually be something like that in cooperation with Red Stockings. Let's see here. Birth strikes, and of course they have the blood, and we have the hand, and of course, in some sense, maybe this is actually an upside cross. You could maybe, but anyway, woman sees the means of reproduction and all that. Let's see. No one unpaid labor sees the means of reproduction. Women are just totally not cased. Or feminists are just totally not cased. See here, priorities. See, and of course the color of red. It fits them pretty good. Oh, the hand in the, let's see, overthrowing the double day, abortion and birth control, feminist consciousness, racing, history for activism. Oh yeah, look at these women. Does they look like just look like rebellion people, murderous people, Let's see here, overthrowing the double day, abortion and birth. Yeah, that's, oh, come on. And you can even donate to this wicked this wicked institution. Come on, open up in regards of liberation priorities, yeah. And women are so what is called, so happy nowadays, right? Because they are now allowed to murder their children and have sex, and it's having a little hard to actually get into that. It just jumped out something. No, not sure how we're going to do this. There was this, wasn't it? Let's try home here. What is National Women Liberation? It's a feminist group for women who wants to fight back against male supremacists. There we have the hate of men and win more freedom for women. Oh, give me a break, It's just, no wonder why men don't want to be with women any longer, when men go MGTOW, It's just the insanity of having a woman these days, what is in it for the men? To have a woman that is just rebellious and the peace is broken, and see, National Women's Liberation is a feminist group for women who wants to fight back against male supremacy. Oh. And win more freedom for women. We believe that change comes about from the actions of everyday people, not politicians, courts, lobbyists, or the media. The freedoms we have now were won by movements of women organizing and fighting for change. Men did not become less sexist or decide to give women the vote, or legalize birth control because of their individual inabilities to reason with them, educate them, or because they love us so much. The inequalities between women and men are political problems that require a collective solution. Women are not men, It's not really, just get it in your mind, Women are not men. Women bleed every month. Women can, are the ones bearing the children. And in regards of less sexist and all that, and women are just, women are dressing like whores, in these days. Many of the women are just dressing like whores. They're dressing like men or whores, It's just, it's insane, We aim to build an organization of feminist organizers to bring new fire to the fight for our liberation. Oh, you had it so bad. The men provided you a good stove, in regards of easier cleaning the clothing, like with machines and things of that kind. And oh, yeah, you were just, it's, and having children and having more time for other things and all that. And, that's just so horrible. Yeah, it's just, men are just the most disgusting pigs ever, right? And we can do without them and so forward, you try setting 100 women out on the boat on an island or something like that and see how they will, how that will go. By the way, haven't it already been in some sense? Well, it was only like 20 women or something like that, or maybe it was more. That didn't go really good, did it? Nope. Yeah. Give me a break. Anyway, the leadership and participation of women of color is critical to the success of women liberation movement. National Women Liberation addresses struggle particular to women of color and racism within the feminist movement through our women of color causes. What? We see National Women Liberation comes from a collaboration between organizers from Red Stockings of the Women's Liberation Movement and Gainesville Women's Liberation starting in 1968. Red Stockings is a radical feminist think tank. Oh, really? Yeah. And one of the original groups of the 1960s women liberation movements in New York City. Gainesville Woman Liberation is the first woman liberation group in the South. Founded in 1968, this collaboration continues today. Yeah. Where do we actually have in regards of chapters, priorities? But okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, no. You don't go. I don't think that website is that good in regards of. Maybe I can go to request desktop website. Maybe that's going to become a little easier than to go into the subjects. See if we can get. No, I can't get the menu. I know there's a menu, but I sorry, I can't get into it. Maybe. Oh, maybe one can just push these things then. Okay, maybe. I'm not sure. Okay, abortion and birth control. Here we go. Let's see here. NWL, have no idea what that is, demands that women have full control over the decision to have children. Oh yeah, so the men have nothing to do with it, and the man has nothing to decide or what? Well, in regards to the man in the family have the last saying. So if the woman comes and says she wants an abortion or murder the child, the man can say no. That's just how it is, and she's going to follow it. And if she doesn't follow it, she's in rebellion, and it's on her own head that she murders a child. Anyway, and of course, murder is not seen as something good in the Bible, and can be punished. So it's not really. And of course, the man, knowing the scriptures and reading the scriptures and all that, would know that the woman is just totally outrageous in regards to this thing that if she wants to, kill off the child, and as a man and head of the family, he can say no to her, and thereby that's how it is. It's not the woman that have the decision; it's the man. So it's just fixing things on the head. It's the child of the man, it's not the child of the woman in that sense. It's the man that have sown the seed and she's carrying it for 9 months. It's the man that has the highest authority of those two. Now, of course, it is also the woman's child, but the man is the highest authority in the family. So thereby, he can say no. No. When the woman, because of emotional things and this and that, well, the man can say no when he hears the woman say something. He can just decline it and say no. That's not how it's going to work. So let's see. NWL demands that women have full control over the decision to have children. We also see families getting destroyed and men getting destroyed because the women, runs with another man or takes the child and runs from the husband when it's actually the man's child that she's taking, and then the man is then forced to also pay money monthly or something like that to the woman, in regards to the child. But, if she runs off with another man and she have committed whoredom, well, she should actually be dead in some sense, because in regards of adultery, the sentence is actually stoning for both of them. So how can a man, if the woman breaks up from a man and she have committed adultery, well, she shouldn't be able to actually take the child from him or get any money from him. So we just made things, this satanic group have just fixed things upside down. Let's see, we want freedom and full access to all forms of birth control, including contraception and abortion. There we go. We want free and full access to all forms of birth control, including contraception and abortion. Abortion is murder. They wanted abortion because they wanted free sex. They're in the Danish website. They talk about they wanted free sex. And because they wanted free sex, well, if you get pregnant, what do you need? And an abortion, apparently. Because you want to murder the child. Because if you have the child of another man's, you have now, in regards of value of other men, having another man's child, just pretty much gone down the hill in regards of value. Women are most value when they are virgins. That's just how it is. If you are a woman and a virgin, you are in very high value. But if you are a slut and go out and have sex and, have, what do you call it? Fornicate maybe, commit whoredom and so forward, well, then your value is pretty much going downhill. The first time is just, a huge gap. And then, of course, as I understand it, statistically, the more women you have actually been with as a woman, the greater the risk for the man to actually marrying you in regards of breaking up. So, it's just... So, as a woman having her virginity, you are in the greatest value at that point for a man. Whereas we want to make these decisions without pressure to have children. Yeah, they wanted to have free sex. That was the idea. They wanted to play the harlot or play the whore. They wanted to just whore to the left and the right, and if they became pregnant and so forward, just because you have birth control or contraception, and by the way, birth control have issues as well in regards of, I think it's like hormonal issues and health issues in regards to these birth control pills and all that. Contraceptions, I think that's that's also some in regards of, for example, the copper thing, that you can apparently get too much copper or something like that. Anyway, in any case, it doesn't, even if you use these things, it's still whoring. You're still having sex outside marriage, in regards of... Anyway, we want to make these decisions without pressure to have children. Oh, yeah. You want to have free sex without the pressure to have children. Yeah. You're a woman. The whole idea of being a woman is to have children. I think in regards to the Bible, where they talk about, having a child is something, something that makes value for the woman to take away her shame or something like that. The whole idea of a woman is to have children, it's just, that should be the goal for a woman, to have lots of children. And nourish the children, the father of that, the head of the family, to nourish the whole family, including herself, so she can have healthy children. But of course, women have lost the law of our grandmothers. Maybe it goes further back, but we have lost a lot of it because women now sees learning these things as something of, there's no worth, And then we are just buying our foods, which, we put our control into the industry or other people, and then they are, giving us things that are not really nourishing, and then we get sick, and women stress because they work as much, if they work all the week, and, they come home and, they're too tired to do anything in the kitchen. Well, too bad, because the kitchen is the first priority. The job that you have is second priority. If you want to have something going, it's the second priority. The first priority is your family. That's the whole, anyway. We want men to do the share of pregnancy prevention and disease prevention. Now, again, disease prevention. Well, I'll tell you the best way to prevent disease in regards to sexual transmitted diseases is not to have sex with many people. Just have sex with your husband or wife the rest of your life, and you pretty much have lessened the chance of getting disease to a minimum. So anyway, and disease preventing by wearing a condom without being asked, paying for birth control, and or getting vasectomy. I'm not sure what it is. I've heard it before, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. There's a lot of words that, I have no ideas of, surgical procedure that removes all or part of the vas deferens, usually as means of sterilization, is sometimes, okay, so it's like something in regards of I think I know what it is. I think it's in regards of men, if they don't want children and all that. Why would anyone do that? I don't know. It's just, I remember a woman that actually, now that's in regards to woman, I'm not sure if it's called the same, but she was like, made herself like, got an operation so she couldn't have children and all that. And she found out that no man actually wanted to really be with her anymore, when they found out that she couldn't have children. Yeah, well, so let's see here. While feminist pressure forced, let's see here. So let's try. We want to make these decisions without pressure to have children, to go on Depo-Provera, to take hormones, or to get sterilized. We want free and full access to all forms of birth control, including contraception and abortion. I think one of the things in contraception is in regards of the metal thing. What is it called? Copper, I think. You put a copper thing up and all that. And abortion. We want to make these decisions without pressure to have children, to go on Depo-Provera, to take hormones, or to get sterilized. We want men to do their share of pregnancy prevention and disease prevention by wearing a condom. Hey, I have a great idea. Don't go out and have sex before marriage, That helps a lot in regards of disease prevention. And of course, in regards of the LGBT whatever movement, or, and they, I saw this thing, and they had this meeting, or in regards of, sexual diseases, in regards of sexual diseases, and what they could do about it and all that. Hey, I have a solution. Stop committing these filthy acts, and apparently the worst thing was in regards of women having sex with other women. Apparently they had the biggest, what is it called, death thing or whatever. I can't remember what it was called, mortality rate or something like that in regards of dying. Anyway, so that was like, so what could they do about it? Well, women don't sleep, women stop sleeping with women and find a good husband and be with him for the rest of your life, It's not really, it's not rocket science what to do. So here, anyway, we want doctors to ask men, not just us, what they are using for birth control. Well, you know, we don't need birth control. We just need a good wife. If we have a good wife, there's no need for birth control. So, because she will want to love to have 15 children, and she will take care of them, and she will make nourishing food in the kitchen, and she will love her husband, and she will value him and appreciate him. Yeah. Anyway, and cook him good food. Good nourishing food. Anyway, since 2004, feminist and national women liberation through the morning after pill conspiracy have led a grassroots fight to make the morning after pill, MAP, also known as emergency contraception, available to all women without restriction. Oh yeah, so you go out and play the whore. And I think it's actually, this pill is maybe called, the regret pill in Danish or something like that. If that's the thing that they're talking about. Available to all women without restriction. Oh yeah, so you kill the life that has now been created in you. What disgusting thing to do. Just because you played the whore, you should just stop playing the whore. Find a good husband and, make his life better instead of worse, so he will stay with you, because, women have a way of making men flee, you have men that just, it's just nice to like 1 or 2 hours, in regards of being together with a woman, and then you pretty much just run from them, because they can't handle it. There's a yabbing, this and that and whatever, and complaining and whatever. You just, it's insanity, It's just, so they need to have, they need to run in some sense, I see, while feminist pressure forced the Food and Drug Administration to finally put one brand of MAP over the counter without any restrictions in 2013, the generic versions must be labeled for sale to women 17 and up, therefore still requiring women to show ID to purchase the generic. NWL continues to fight to make this important tool available at all women's fingertips. Yeah, let's commit murder, right? And of course, people will use the argument, well, what if the woman has been raped? Well, how many times is that actually the case and the reason for it? That was not the reason why they wanted free abortion. Just that was not. I've not seen anything in regards to talk of rape at that point. It's not. It's something that is used in our days. Oh, what if a woman is raped? But then punish the raper. Just that's punish the raper. That sounds pretty good, right? If someone's raped someone, punish the raper. In the Bible, if the woman didn't have a man at that point, the man could be forced, the raper could be forced to take care of her the rest of his life. That might be something that a man, that would be a punish, being together with a woman can be very, very, I guess, detrimental to a man. So having to take, it might make men think if I have sex with this woman, I end up being, that I need to take care of her the rest of my life. Is that actually something I want to do? Anyway, I just got a message. So, let's see here. And what that would mean for African American women. Okay, let's see here. At an NWL conference, I guess that's, I'm not sure it's still NWL. New women liberation, maybe? I'm not sure. Conference in August 2014, African American feminist organizer and theorist Loretta Ross of Sister Song responded to the idea of women calling a birth strike for better conditions and what that would mean for African American women. Again, if anyone says, if any woman says she's a feminist, just run from her. Why even bother with it? Ross argued that established powers in the U.S. have since the end of slavery tried to reduce the number of births to African American women through forced sterilization and its modern equivalents, like pushing dangerous long-lasting birth control, such as Depo-Provera, on young women of color. But she said racist reproductive oppression cannot be understood separately from white supremacist policies in all areas of U.S. life, from housing to welfare to healthcare to police murder to imprisonment. Her message was that these racist activities can't be over. I'm tired of these. The thing is, the women, in regards of white women, if you want to put this, it's funny. It seems to always be the in regards of racism, where the black people say racism, this and that, usually is the one that is actually promoting racism. It's really weird. Oh, the white man is this and that and all that and whatever. Anyway, a lot of women that is white are on these things as well. So it's just in regards of, not getting pregnant and all that. So, is there anything else of morning pill, after the counter, behind the counter? Taking something that destroys life. If something, you have what is called conception. You have at the conception, there you have while the child begins to grow. But of course, it seems like if women don't want the child, it's a fetus. But if the woman does want the child, it's a child. Isn't it? It's just insane. It's just utterly insane. But it is a child, of course. It's growing. Let's see here. It's obvious to most people that the current prescription-only status of the morning after pill must be changed. It requires women to get and pay for a doctor appointment, which is a major obstacle for a drug that is most effective to prevent pregnancy when taken within 24 hours and fairly effective up to 72 hours after sex. Well, again, usually that, could be in regards of having had sex after being out fornicating, right? And playing the whore. So I guess actually making this available to women actually just makes them think, well, it's no problem because I can always, fix this thing, right? If things happens, instead of actually just thinking that this might not be a good idea, I need to get married before doing anything. But there wasn't really enough. I think the website in Danish was much more obvious, saying it as it is. And it's nice when people say things as it is. I was just really disturbed of reading it, but it was, instead of just hiding what they believe and all that, trying not really saying what they stand for, making it into yes, let's see here. So, and we can, one can donate to this satanic institution. Again, if if you're a woman, just, make your husband, glad in some sense. Let's see, we demand childcare, healthcare, paid leave, and shorter hours. Oh, you demand childcare. So who is paying the childcare when you don't have a husband anymore? Well, society, right? So, yeah, well, no more unpaid labor. Well, it's just insane, seize the means of reproduction. A new book from PM, The Hidden Fight Over Women's Work. We demand childcare, healthcare, paid leave, shorter hours. Okay, well, in regards to shorter hours, you could decide in regards when you were at home, right? And when the man was out working, yeah. Let's see, what do we have here? Can makeup cover the wounds of our oppression? Oh, you give me a break. Oppression. Oh, the woman will say, oh, they're so oppressed and blah, blah, blah. Oh, give me a break. Having a beautiful home and having a kitchen and all these things that was coming by that, to easier clean the clothing, to, tools to make food and electric things and all that. And you will say, oh, you are so oppressed, Oh, give me a break, Oh, play the violin, right? Support the birth strike on Kickstarter. Let's see what, in regards of announce the publication of birth strike, the hidden fight over women's work. Birth strike explains why it is so hard for us to have and raise children in the US and why it's simultaneously so hard for us to access birth control and abortion and how these things are connected. Now let me tell you how it's really connected in regards of why is it so hard to raise children in the US? Well, maybe it's because the woman has now gone out working and is not at home raising her children, right? Because they wanted to come out and work in the playfield of men. So let's see, instead of actually taking care of their family at home. So when you go out on work and, if you work 37 hours or maybe even more, it depends, of course, on what kind of work, but how much time do you actually have to your family? Oh yeah, but the women in the home that has had all their time for their family, oh, they were so oppressed. Oh, they were so oppressed, Oh, so oppressed. Oh, give me a break, And how these women or these things are connected. As the US birth rate goes down, we can use the power of our spontaneous birth strike to win things that they have in other countries: guaranteed health care, free birth control and abortion, free childcare, paid leave, shorter work hours and more. Oh, you want shorter work hours? So, let's see, why would you want shorter work hours if you actually could just stay at home in the past, right? And of course you want paid leave as well, free childcare. What, of course, why do you need free childcare? Well, maybe because you have left, taking care of your own children. So let's just, we want, just give me a break. In the meantime, we are collecting testimony around the question, what are your reasons for wanting or not wanting children? Has the thinking changed? Please consider submitting yours. Well, the whole idea is just lunacy. It's just total lunacy, Oh yeah, we don't have time for, taking care of our own children, so we want free childcare. We also want paid leave. Because if you don't have a husband helping and being able to support you and all that, because, that's, and you want shorter work hours and more, and of course, well, it's just, you had everything. You had it, I have no idea how insane it is, how lunacy it is to support the feminist movement. You could stay at home, you could use all your time on your children, you could shop, getting good food and all that, you could be ready when your husband got home, you could use all your time on, your family. But no. You want to give over your children to other people, and it's just insane having other people to take care of your children, and then you get this, you just buy the food at the shop, which is not nourishing because there's a lot of fake food, and it's just insane, that this world is just gone nutcase, And then you will say there's no good men left. Well, how do you expect us to go? How do you expect any men, any good men, to be left when you women have left the boat? And don't and you just raise the children on your own, right? And of course, in regards of raising your children of your own, you're casting your child to the government, right? But you don't want the father is kicked out or whatever. Or maybe you got the child by whoring, or whoring with some stranger and so forward. So that's not really a male picture for the boy child, right? And then of course he gets all these feminist values from all this lunacy and so forward as it goes. Come learn more about why we need to keep fighting, not only to preserve Roe, but to push for free and full access to all forms of birth control. Enjoy great music here from other local groups fighting for justice. So it's justice for who? To killing off your own children, is that justice? And bid an amazing silent auction prices, all while financially supporting the movement. For more information, visit us on Facebook. So this is in regards of, yes, let's see what they have on their Facebook. Oh, let's see. National Woman Liberation. And actually, I do wonder if actually there's this building in Copenhagen that has like 3 of these women's sign thing in regards to this. Let's see. What do they have on Facebook? To show for National Women's Liberation. Oh, yeah. To be liberated to play the slut and kill your own children and demean men. Uh-oh. No, never. That's why that's all these automatic little things, and now it lost. I can't see anything. Okay, it just got total dark. Oh well. Whatever. Let's go. So we have feminists, so that we've pretty much took that. Here we have some more rebellious feminists, and look at it. They're not even dressed in dresses, right? Just have pants on them. And usually women also have this way of having really tight pants, right? And the rest of it as well. I don't know what it is with women, They want to have so tight clothing so you can see everything in regards to the forms, And then of course it's always the men's fault, right? But it's just horrible, It's very easy for a man to get off track in regards of and you women are not helping on it when you dress like horse, There's difference in regards of a beautiful flower and a woman dressing like a whore, So, the dresses, I think it was from the 1950s or something like that, where you see women having focus on the kitchen and the family, the children, and these home dresses and all that. Love that. Really love that. I have no idea why, women love those things, and yet they have been, they become happy of those things and doing these things and all that, and it seems to be like when men are playing with computers, they like to do that, right? It seems to be the same thing with women, and in regards of the home but of course nowadays they have been so brainwashed because of the feminists. Have you become any happier? No, I don't think so. What are your reasons for wanting children or not wanting them? Has your thinking changed? Let's see. The Abortion and Birth Control Committee is doing a series of neighborhood consciousness raising. Women will be gathering to answer questions from our personal experience, and then as a group we will compare the similarities and differences in the testimony in order to study our oppression. Oh, say the women are so oppressed. You have to be kidding me. It's just playing the violin all over, and you wonder why men don't want to be with you women? These are the reasons, complaining and nagging. Oh, I'm just so oppressed. Oh, give me a break. Oh, give me a break. Movements have been using consciousness raising as a tool for examining the political root of our so-called personal problems. We look at who is oppressing us. Oh, who could it be? Oh, could it be the man? Oh, yeah, let's give the man the fault, right? It's always the men's fault, right? It's always the men's fault, and we can do without men, right? Really? Is that the case? Really, really, really. We look at, just looking at that documentary where you have a woman group and a male group, and how the women just totally, oh yeah, you can do without men. Oh, really? Yeah, I think you need a reality check. We look at who is oppressing us, who benefits and who pays, and how to fight back. We will use the testimony and conclusions from these CRs to plan our work. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, we know it's the man. All those people having, it's just disgusting. Join the fight to keep abortion and birth control in women's hands. Maybe we should fight for not playing the whore before marriage. We have developed a toolkit to go over everything you need to know to host your own consciousness racing. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Racing, training, call, and without an immigrant strike. Oh, yeah, there we have the feminist committee monthly. Oh, here we have sexism and the election. Oh, what do we have more? Women's liberation. Where do I fit in? A 10-week class. Beforehand they had schools to teach women all the things in regards of the home, right? And nowadays they apparently just 10-week class. Where do I fit in regards of women liberation? Yeah, you have to be kidding me. And they will say, oh, women are like men. No, women are not like men. Yeah, it's totally insane if you think that. That's just lunacy. Total lunacy. What's this monthly meeting? And you see the feminists also where they take off their hair and all that. Just how they destroy themselves. And scream and rebellion and, just totally not cases, these women. Totally out of control, Totally, yeah. Let's continue building the resistance. Down with the men, right? See, this election was a stunning reminder of how white supremacy and sexism run deep and threaten our basic democracy. That white working class people continue to identify with the capitalist 1% who are responsible for the pain in our daily lives. What is this talking about? Don't know, but it's just actually a lot of these sexism and are you sick of women being judged by what we wear, how we sound? Coverage of the Clinton campaign has led bare sexist double standards on a national scale, blah blah blah. So you shouldn't be judged by what you wear. Oh, it's okay to just wear anything and everything? Absolutely not. You can just play the slut, right? And that's just, oh yeah, it's the men's fault if they fall into thinking about sexual thing when you dress like a slut. What do you, and I've seen in regards to how women actually, they don't want men to know that they, was like, that was in regards of the forum where women forum where they were talking and all that in regards of then you will if she dressed like this and that or took this way or something like that, then you will get all the what it was like. Oh, let's see. It was totally illogical, totally nonsensible. Then you will get all the what is it called? She was seeking attention. Then you will go, and it was like she wanted the attention, but didn't want to show she wanted the attention. So she had this way of, when with men, for example, is attentive. Well, she can say, you're just a pig, what are, that is just, but there's this double standard thing in regards of actually wanting attention, but not showing that she wants the attention. I was like, called. Then you will get all the what is it called? But total lunacy. She wanted attention, but she didn't want to show the attention. Yeah, this woman forum, the women understand, and just totally illogical. And just give me a break. So, should women be judged by what we wear? Yeah, I think that should absolutely. If you wear something that is sensual and brings up lust in men, shouldn't be you. There's absolutely a difference. If a man tries to talk to you, it's a lot harder for him to actually think straight, because there you're standing, right, playing the whore. Anyway, how we sound. Oh yeah, we shouldn't. When the women are screaming and rebellious and yelling for murder and all that, we shouldn't judge that. I think we should. So, because women are, when women are dressing like whores, they're leading the thoughts of men into sinning. That's and again, women knows this, but they don't want. It's this weird doubles, this illogical way of women, women thing, and again, that just shows that men and women are absolutely not the same. See, call to action: women demand control over our reproduction. Well, you have control over your reproduction. You just don't jump into bed with everybody coming around, right? Find a husband, and then, just to give me a break. I see, to be free, woman must control our reproduction. Well, don't have sex if you don't want to have children, right? In May, the Supreme Court decided Subic v. Burville, and is expected to decide whole women's health. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Whatever the outcome, the court will change women's access to abortion and birth control, while we are expected to passively wait and see how our life will be affected. Enough already. We demand control over our reproduction. Well, don't sleep around. And maybe you shouldn't dress like whores either. That might be, that might help on things, So not to lead men into sinning of thinking of lewd things, because you want to be able to dress like a whore. Let's see here. National Women's Liberation Speak Out Kit. Campus meeting on building women's liberation. I see. What resonate with you? What do you disagree with? How can we rebuild a strong women's liberation movement that will pull male chauvinism on the run again? Oh, give me a break. It's just, someone have to take these women and just throw them down in the cold water. It's so wicked. It's so filthy. It's so. It's satanic. It's deeply wicked. Oh yeah, we need to go after the men once again and all that. What is. I guess when some people talks about in regards of they don't understand why the men in Europe doesn't do anything in regards of but defending the country and all that. But there's not really much to defend this. It seems like our women have just totally run amok. And men are just pretty much just squeezed on all the time. Devalued and not seen as any value, it seems. Campbell's feminist meeting. Are you angry about the new abortion restrictions and anti-clinic laws passed by Florida's legislation? Join the Gainesville chapter of National Women's Liberation at this month's community organizing meeting on campus. Able to be pregnant, able to decide. Well, you have the decision before you jump into bed with someone. That's where you have the decision. Do I want to have a child with this man? No, I don't really want. Well, don't jump into bed with him. It shouldn't be that hard, should it? Shout your abortion. Oh yeah, it's like these things where they are promoting, abortion. The Shout Your Abortion campaign that began in Seattle is spreading to the East Coast. Come to our... they're not even... The thing is, they're not even... what is it called? Ashamed of their wicked deeds. It's like, they're just, yeah. It's like something good. Oh, I murdered my child, see how good I am. Let's get an applause to the murderer, right? It's just insane. We also read and discussed a short article from the Red Stockings archives on the largely hidden history of how women won abortion in the U.S., not because Supreme Court justice were nice to us, but through speak outs, disruptions, and bold demands of women liberation organizers in New York City and beyond in the late 1960s. Campus feminist meeting. Of course, also we see all these women being educated, and because women are seeking someone that is higher than themselves, and it doesn't seem to actually be a good thing for the family if the woman is actually, the woman herself looks for something that earns more and greater education and all that. So if she's going to be educated in foolishness that has no worth in the household, well, then she will lessen her chance of finding a husband. Now, of course, if she's also getting older because of education and because she maybe wants a career, well, that also lessens her chance because she's in high value in her young years where she's fertile. And when she's a virgin, and after having just played the whore and, educated herself in regards of something and going for a career and all that, that's just not, it's there's a wall coming by for the woman, or for the women. Let's see here, featuring cost acid whatever, let's see. Do we have red stockings? Do I have the red colors again? These Satanists love the color of red. And again, it's fitting, I think. She's beautiful when she's angry. No, actually not. That's the time where you take her and you cast her into the room and lock the door and, go about your own things, and let her maybe cool down or something like that. She's beautiful when she's angry resurrects the buried history of the outrageous, often brilliant women who founded the modern women's movement from 1966 to 1971. Oh, the brilliant women. Oh, really? Non-brilliant women. The brilliant women was those in the kitchens that took care of their family. That's the brilliant women. That's the heroes of womanhood. Turning theory into action. I don't regret my abortion. Well, you should. And this is a disgrace, because you murdered someone. I don't need regret my abortion. I'm not alone. No, you are just filthy murderers that, have murder in your hearts. And don't even regret when you kill off a most innocent child. Things that cause rape, rapist. I see the outfit in varying, drinking too much, flirting. Well, again, if you flirt, that's also, flirting, the outfit in wearing. Don't tell me that the outfit doesn't have anything to say in regards of the sexual things, awakening sexual lust in men by your outfit. Don't tell me it's not any of because it is, and you women know it. It just don't give, it's just you get it's insane. It's just insane. Don't listen to women. Just the thing. Men shouldn't listen to women because women are totally outrageous and not case. And in our days, it's just totally gone off the, drinking too much. Yeah, well, drinking too much can easily lead to a pregnancy, right? Because you drank too much and you slept with someone and you might even maybe get raped, because you've been drinking so much so you don't have any consciousness at all, right? Who knows? Many things can happen when you drink. It doesn't help on things. It doesn't help on the health either. Let's see here. What we want, what we believe. Please read the statement and join us to discuss. What resonate with you? What do you disagree with? How can we rebuild a strong women's liberation movement that will put male chauvinism on the run again? Oh, you have to be kidding me. Just go away. You women, you feminists can just take the train and just go along. I don't think that there's many men that actually wants a feminist. If you want to be a feminist, well, go along, but, that's not the thing that men is actually looking for, So, we also discussed projects and how you can get involved. Distribute this oppresses women stickers for slapping on sexist ads. Make a video exposing male supremacy using satire and women's testimony. Oh yeah. And again, the women can always complain about something. They need something to complain about. If it's not one thing, it's another thing. And it is, oh, give me a break. Build website to post this oppresses women stickers and other multimedia projects. The only thing you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot. This oppresses women for slapping on sexist ads, and we are taking the campaign. We have been distributing this oppresses woman stickers for slapping on sexist ads, and we are taking the campaign further. Help us create a video that will showcase women's testimony. We will be asking how are you oppressed as a woman? How does sexism affect you? You have to be kidding me. Oh, you are so oppressed. Oh, we're so oppressed. Oh, so I'll give me a break. This oppresses woman stickers go viral, whatever. This oppresses stickers. Well, I would, in some sense, I would agree these things. I don't want to see these things out in the public. I don't, that's so. But again, it's a double standard, isn't it? Because the feminists tell themselves it's hypocritical because they tell you are not allowed to judge what I wear. Wasn't that the saying that we just read on the webpage? So now they're judging these women for what they wear, right? Yeah, just hypocrisy, totally hypocrisy. But I personally, as a man, I don't want to see these things out in the public because that's some of the things that absolutely makes you think about things you might not really want to think about. So that depict women as sexual objects. Well, you have yourself pretty much promoted these things, right? because sexual objects, you dress up as whores, and then you expect not to be considered sexual objects. You have to be. It's just so outrageous. There's huge difference in regards of a woman dressing like a beautiful flower that you want to look at, and a woman that is dressed like a whore that just tries to awake sexual emotions in you, or feelings in you. And women knows this. Women knows about these things. Yeah, they are. This is just total double standard. It's total deception going on here in regards to women. There, what was that? It was like you can either understand women or you can love them. You can't do both. maybe there's some truth in that. Because women are just totally nutcases. Women, are you sick of being bombarded with advertisement that depicts women as sexual objects? Didn't you say that it doesn't matter what you shouldn't judge in regards to what women are wearing and all that? Are you not judging what they're wearing now? Aye. That use our bodies to sell products? Well, you pretty much did that for yourself. That embolden men to disrespect us? Well, I think you pretty much did that for yourself. You pretty much do that in regards to disrespecting us. When you begin to attack men and dress like whores and discredit men and just want to go out and have sex with strange men and whatever, and that embolden men to, you already have that in regards to disrespect. You already totally lost the respect. Just down the drain. If you want men to respect you, you pretty much need to stop these abominations and promoting murder and promoting, all these wicked things that these feminists stand for, that embolden men to disrespect us, that tell us we are not worthy unless we conform to unrealistic, sexist, racist, and unhealthy beauty standards. Hey, man was happy with you being home, having a nice homely dress and all that, and you're attacking what you yourself pretty much have promoted yourself. Freedom and free to do this and free sex and free to wear anything and everything and all of that. And now you're complaining again. That's just the typical women thing, complaining about everything. And you wonder why men don't want to be around you, Let's see here. Oh, as a woman of color, we are involved in various struggles for freedom and social justice. As a result, we often find ourselves working with or in solidarity with white allies. Yeah, again, they, the white and always, the same thing, the same people yelling racism are those that are talking about white people and black people. Yeah, just give me a break, picket against the increasing punishment and prosecution of women for our ability to get pregnant. Picket against, see here. Parvi Patel was sentenced to 41 years in prison for miscarrying a fetus. Not sure what that is. For miscarrying. Let's see here. For miscarrying, is that in regards of miscarrying, if that was Jennifer Whalen was sentenced to 18 months in prison for ordering her daughter drugs that could induce an abortion. Induce? Not sure what induce. What do they mean, induce? Lots of words, right? Lots of words. To cause to arise. Okay, not sure. Entirely sure what was. Jenny was arrested for self-induced abortion. Yeah, well, it's killing life. Was charged with murder and was jailed for 435 years for attempting suicide while pregnant. Yeah, okay, but this seems to be some extreme cases, you know. NWL believes abortion is legal. It should be available to all without restrictions. No way. And the thing is, you're giving the power to the women instead of actually the men that actually made the woman pregnant. And it actually is his child. But no. The man doesn't have any right to decide anything, right? That's what you know. But the thing is, the man is the head of the household. And if you get pregnant and want an abortion and he says no, it's a no. That's just how it is. And you never know because, the women are, emotional beings and all that. So you never know if they are like in this emotional state. And yeah, it makes sense that the man has the last saying in regards of it. And when he knows, abortion is murder, of course he will say no. And if you go against that, then you go against the head of the house. But at least the man will not be if the man just consent to the woman having an abortion, it is on his head. But if he doesn't consent and the woman does it anyway, it's on her head, So as men, we should, of course, we need to stand up against it. Let's see here. If it's our child, abortion is legal. It should be available to all without restrictions. Women should have the right to make our own medical decisions, even when we are pregnant. Women should have Women should have the right to make our own medical decisions, even when we are pregnant. Yeah, but that, the child is not you. The child is a child. And that's not you. It's another person. And, so you are not... It's just insane. Women should control when and if we have children. And society should support us for either decision. Women should control when and if we have children. And society should support us for either decision. Again, then you go to the state, I guess, in regards of getting support from the state, right? Instead of actually the man who is actually your head in the family. So you fix so you don't need a man. And if you have a child, you will have the state helping you. And then you don't need a man, but you're still sending your children to childcare because you need to maybe work as well. And yeah, well, anyway, just and society should support us for either decision. Self-determination includes safe and legal abortions. Oh, really? Legal? How can anything be legal when it's murder? As well as access to birth control. Prenatal care. I'm not sure what prenatal care is. Let's see what that is. Prenatal care. Occurring or existing before birth. Is that? Oh, that's in regards to then before. To access to birth control, prenatal care, and child care, regardless of ability to pay, and paid parental leave. No woman should be forced into sterilization, as it is her choice is if or when she will have a child. Well, yeah, it is a choice. Don't sleep around. If you don't sleep around, you will not get pregnant, right? So stop sleeping around. And when you find a husband, there you go, So you can decide if you want to have a husband or not, But if you don't want a husband, there's no children and there's no playing the whore. The thing is, you want to play the whore and have fun and fornicate, but in which is sin, is transgression of the law. But in our days, of course, it's just seen as something, that everybody does, right? So we need an organized, strong feminist movement to make demands and keep up the pressure to end the assault on abortion, birth control, and healthcare, and win gains. You want to continue to have, you want to continue to pressure the world to commit murder on the weakest in society. This has to be, one of the most demonic things in regards of, it's so sad. I have no idea how we can accept this. These women are outrageous. One thing is in regards of free speech and all that, but another thing is actually going and committing murder. These are murderers. These feminists are murderers. They have murder in their hearts. They are murderers. They have blood on their hands. The river of blood flows from these people. For women, buying and wearing clothing and beauty aids is not so much consumption as it is work. I have no idea what that is in regards. Women love to buy things, right? Let's see, consumerism and women before them. I remember, one of my past acquaintances in regards of a woman, and in regards of going to this marketplace with her and all that, and just totally her. It's just the most terrible thing going with a woman to these shops. It's just no way. I've learned my lesson in regards of that. That's for sure. And then, going with her and all that, hours of torture. And then we get to a point where I wanted to look on something, having gone with her, on so many. And I said I wanted to go out and look. What did she say? No, she didn't want me to, or she didn't want to, this and that and all that. I was like, I've been going with you to all the things that I don't care about, and you can't go with me to the section I want to look at. I've followed you around for hours and hours and hours, and then I want to look on something, and then it's just too much. It's just insane, It's just utterly, one thing I wanted to look at as there, and just no, it's like, give me a break, that's just it's just total torture, a man going with a woman shopping, total torture, and many of these shopping halls is too hot anyway for men to be in. I think it's something different in regards of women, and men have different in regards of warming and all that. You see that also in the sleeping bags. Sleeping bags for women are need small what is called filling than men, and you're going to go. So there's sleeping bags for women and men, and in regards of degrees and all that, and I think it's because of women. They want to have a temperature that is good for women instead of men, and it's like going in there, you're just ready as a man to just drop all your clothing because it's so hot in there. So not only do you get the torture of this hotness in there, you also get the torture of going with the woman looking, going where she's looking all these different things that you don't care about at all, total torture, Don't do it. If you're a man, just don't do it, Why would you do it, If the woman wants to go out shopping, let her go out and shop, There we have the red again, I guess. But it's interesting that the blue color apparently seems to be the opposition to the red color. But again, the blue collar again would go back to the Bible. We have so. Anyway, let's see here. Woman of color caucus meeting. This oppresses women. Well, the feminist movement pretty much was the ones that actually, because you shouldn't judge what they are wearing, right? Isn't that what you tell us? Oh, you shouldn't judge women in regards of what they are wearing. And now then they complain about it anyway. But of course, just call on men to stop harassing women and to speak up when they see other men harassing women. And that's the thing. You have this where men are totally into defending feminism as well in nowadays. Let's call out ad makers for using imagery that oppresses women and men for falling for it. Come fight with us. Well, you pretty much said that, again, that you shouldn't, judge how a woman dresses, right? You're doing that exactly the same thing now that you're judging what a woman wears. So, it's just, Oh, did we already have some of that. Oh, here we have the National Women Liberation Abortion Speak Out. NWL believes the right to birth control, including abortion, is a cornerstone of freedom, of women's freedom. Women should control when and if we have children. And you have that control. Just don't sleep around, You don't get any children if there's not a man to sow the seed in the dirt. Women should control when and if we have children without an organized, strong feminist movement making demands and keeping up the pressure. Victories we won on abortion, birth control, and healthcare will. Let's try that again. And keeping up the pressure. Victories we've won on abortion, birth control, and healthcare will continue to be threatened. So they won on abortion. They won in regards of committing murder. Yeah, that's... Oh, just so sad. The Roe v. Wade anniversary show a benefit for national women liberation. Are they showing like this... Oh, they're showing a woman with muscles. Oh, how good that is to, to have the women liberation, right? Now we can have women with muscles. The ones to blame, how many men do you think once, is seeking, I don't maybe they can find one. But anyway, join the fight. But it's not really something that really strikes me as feminine. Join the fight to keep abortion and birth control in women's hands. Celebrating 41 years since the feminist movement won the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision. So apparently they want some kind of Supreme Court decision in regards of abortion, and then they have murdered, I guess, millions of children since then. You women should be ashamed, You women and of course you will not find any shame because you are totally, you're just totally drowned in the blood, Women of color, blah, 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 blah. Conscious racing, discussing on beauty standards. Well, you can thank yourself for all these things. Complaining about something you pretty much set in motion yourself. It's just hypocrisy. We have morning after pill week of action, a huge success how to learn women to commit murder and just go out, if you sleep around and get pregnant, well, you can always get a pill, right? Let's see what it says.
troops fighting against the restrictions that the Obama administration has put against all women. This is our own bodies, and you want to say,
Excuse me. Oh yeah, this is your own bodies. Yeah, you could have decided to, not have sex before you actually went into bed with another man. That's where your choice is, right? But now, no. You want to murder the child in your, growing in your body, because conception is the moment where the child begins to grow. Now, I know there's so many of these bad arguments out there. And they will say, oh, the semen and whatever and blah, blah, blah. Well, there hasn't been any conception, has there? No. So the child doesn't grow before conception. At conception, then the child begins to grow. There's an article, a scientific article in regards to when and also getting to at conception, it begins. Absolutely begins at conception. All these bad arguments, it's tiring to hear these these outrageous, murderous thoughts. These arguments for, committing murder. You want to try to make murder good when it's bad. You want to make the bad good and the good bad. You're turning things upside down. This is very sad. Anyway, let's see.
roll over it? That's ridiculous. I can't take it. It should be in every drugstore, in every gas station, every grocery store. It should be everywhere. Condoms are available. You see them everywhere, but the morning after pill is not? No, I'm sorry. We're not taking it anymore. We're not. That's right. No. Last time I needed the morning after pill, I didn't have money. I did not have enough to pay for it. So I had to worry. I had to wait. This is something that's serious. It could change my life forever. And you're gonna...
Yeah. It's something that can change your life. Yeah. Well, maybe you should have thought about that before you actually slept with the man, right? It's like, oh yeah, this can change my life forever and all. Yeah, it is. Maybe you should have, maybe you shouldn't sleep with the man, right? Maybe you should have thought those thoughts before you actually, did it and became pregnant with a child. And now you want to, because of your, wickedness, you now want to, take actions against an innocent being that has nothing to do with what you did. Because, the child is innocent. It was not the child that went into bed with a man, was it? But yet you want to kill off, you want to murder off the child. You want to punish, in some sense, the child for something you did. It's insane. It's totally insane. Let's see.
Tell me that I have to worry and sit down because I don't have the money or the ID or there's all these restrictions against us? No, that's why we're here.
So you complain about not having money for buying these and in regards to an ID and all that. Well, again, if you don't want a child, don't have sex. It's so easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's the thing, If you don't want children, don't have sex. That's not hard to grasp. But if you don't want to have a sexual sickness, don't have sex. Don't spread it around. How do you think sexual transmitted diseases are transmitted? By whoring, right? So, just stop doing that.
Because we're going to actually put the morning after pill on the shelf ourselves. Yes. Yeah. Yes. We're organizing in 12 cities this week, including Seattle, Albuquerque, Gainesville, DC, LA, Sacramento, everywhere. We're going to put the morning after pill on the shelf.
Rebellious feminist.
On the shelf. Okay. Because that's what it should be. There is no scientific or medical reason to restrict women's access to the morning after pill. There was a law passed by a judge federally that Plan B should be on the shelves without restrictions, without any ID laws, without any point of sale. The Obama administration appealed that and is trying to make people require ID. We're here to say no, that women should not have to show ID.
It's still showing the red thing there, right? And of course,
to have their rights in place. We're putting the morning after pill on the shelf where it belongs. We are here to say to the Obama administration, hands off the morning after pill! Right now, this pill is only available to the...
Yeah. And the cries of the feminist, you know.
Right now, this pill is only available...
You know, the nagging. You know, you just get pretty, pretty full of that pretty quickly, you know. And want nothing to do with it, you know. Just pass my door, go away. So, that is very sad, yeah.
ID requirements are sexist, racist, and unnecessary, and disproportionately affect African American women, poor women, and immigrant women. As the judge in this case said, this is an impediment to voting, it's impediment to getting the pill. Another impediment is the high cost, $50 a pill. What do we want? Morning after pill! The morning after pill on the shelf! Oh my God! Put the morning after...
Look at these women. Is that something a man ever would be with, you know? Come on, you know. Is that mother material? Absolutely not. You know, it's just rebellion, just total rebellion, total, you know, it's just, I think, you know, most men would, you know, at least, I don't know, in regards of our days, of course, you know. Well, most males just succumb to it, I guess. But, you know, at some point you would flee this, you know. If you have a woman like that, you would just, you know, why would you even want to, you know, just insane. I guess it's a good start to actually start with you know, asking a woman, are you a feminist? And if she says yes, just go away, you know, just pass over her, as they say. Okay, you are a feminist, great, I'll pass over, you know.
Streets. That was 14 years ago. In England, you can call the house service and they will bring it at any time of night to your door. What is wrong with this picture? Why do we have to struggle so hard in America for something other?
Well, you know, again, maybe you should just think about whoring, you know, in regards of not doing it, instead of having just a pill afterwards, you know.
For years. Well, women are fed up. I'm going to put this morning after pill on the counter, over the counter, where it belongs, where any woman can buy it, regardless of her age. No ID, no restrictions. Women join me and put the morning after pill over the counter.
Instead of it's like it's the same with the LGBT movement. Instead of actually going to the problem, they're, you know, going for the symptoms and speaking. I guess maybe there's more money in that. I don't know. But it's not going. If they really wanted to, you know, fix the things in regards of sexual transmitted diseases, well, people should just stop having sex outside marriage. You know, if people wasn't, you know, whoring around, you know, it's really hard for the transmitted diseases to actually, you know, move from one person to another. But of course, if you're playing the whore or playing, you know, if you're having sex here and there, and, you know, just reproductive choices belongs in women and girls' hand. Yeah, just don't have sex with a man, you know. If you don't want to have this man as your husband, yeah, it's pretty easy. Just don't have sex with him, right? You know, knowing that, you know, you should first have sex in regards of a marriage, and then of course, you should wait for that, and yeah, you have full control over that, you know, in regards of, you know, when you are ready for children, you just find a man and you can, you know, marry him. Or actually the other way around, I guess, him marrying you. Anyway, I'm getting tired of this, you know, it's just... Anyway, of course, that's the LGBT... No, what was it called? MGTOW movement in regards, and you can hear a lot of stories of men from the MGTOW movement where men has been burned by women, where they have, where they are paying the women in regards of where the women have stolen the men's children and so forward. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Let's see. No, that's Facebook, YouTube. No. Oh, that's okay. As I see, MGTOW. There's a lot of videos as well on there in regards of men having been fed up. Let's see, but again, as this in regards of having sex outside marriage, which seems they're actually promoting that would be bad as well. So it's not really the way, but you can see how men have been, well, and I don't want to use that word, but what men has what other men have actually ended up. So there's some interesting things in regards of some of it for sure. But there are, of course, in regards of whoring outside marriage, that's a no-go. So that's still whoring. So that's not in any, if you want to have sex, you need to find a woman, or if you're a woman, you need to find a man. So that's pretty much, yeah, I think I'm going to stop now. I'm getting, it's just sad. It's very sad that we have these things, and it's outrageous. It's outrageous. It's just how it is. Have a good one, all of you. I'm going to stop now. Bye bye.